There is a candidate for state legislature in Maine who is apologizing for calling one of the survivors of the shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School a skinhead lesbian. The name of the candidate is Leslie Gibson, and this was a tweet that has since been taken down, but originally it was, "There is nothing about the skinhead lesbian that impresses me, and there is nothing that she has to say." And then further, he said, Leslie Gibson claimed, according to the Huffington Post, Gonzalez should not be called a survivor because she was, quote, in a completely different part of the school during the shooting.
Okay.
And not just her, he also went after David Hogg, another student, and he said Hogg doesn't get a pass when he blatantly lies. The thing he was lying about is saying that there are political figures who are owned by the NRA. The apology.
That's a lie, that's hilarious.
It's absolutely bearing out across the country right now. The apology says, I would like to extend to you my most sincere apology for how I addressed you. It was wrong and unacceptable. You are doing work that is important to you. I would like to extend my hand in friendship and understanding to you. A bit of a 180.
So, a couple of notes here. First, the full quote that originally got him in trouble was, there's nothing about this skinhead lesbian that impresses me, and there's nothing that she has to say unless you are frothing at the mouth moonbat, okay? Now, look, Gibson and any other conservatives are allowed to disagree with Emma Gonzalez and the survivors. You don't have to have the same position as them on the Second Amendment or gun rights or gun control, but is it too much to ask to respect them after having gone through that experience and say they also have a perspective, a valid perspective, instead of just throwing random insults at them and especially directed at who they are rather than what they think?
Also, they're kids. What has happened to people that they're in this bubble, in this case of the NRA, where they feel that it is a good thing to go after children? There was someone in Florida, Representative Elizabeth Porter, when she was arguing against the state law in Florida that increased gun control regulations. She said, we've been told that we need to listen to the children and do what the children ask. She says, do we allow the children to tell us we should pass a law that says no homework? She compared wanting to stay alive, to at least change some gun control regulations, to kids not wanting to do their homework. Like, where do you have to be mentally to get to that place?
Well, I know where you have to be. You have to be in a place where you can cash that check from the NRA. And so she claims that the adults are more responsible. Does it look like it? Have the adults stopped the massacres at the schools? No. Columbine was 19 years ago. We've had decades of massacre after massacre overall in the country and particularly in our schools. Newtown, Columbine, this, let alone shooting after shooting that you don't hear about. And so the adults have not solved it, partly because they're corrupt. And so Gibson, if there is a liar in this story, as he ironically accuses her of being a liar, it is the politicians who claim, oh no, the checks that I get from campaign contributors don't affect me at all. How dare you besmirch my adult reputation by saying that I would do something for the money? Yeah, I think you're doing something for the money. And I don't know in Gibson's case if he's taking checks from the NRA or not, but even if he's not, certainly others are. Thousands of politicians across the country are, and that's why they're not doing anything. And it takes apparently kids to call them out on it. If you become a member of the Young Turks, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
So do it right now, tytnetwork.com/join. Get the whole Young Turks show every day.